Welcome to the Simplify Your Life podcast. It's Coach Simona, and I'm glad you decided to tune in. Hey everyone! In today's podcast episode, I'm going to share with you 10 ways to become emotionally mature so that you can take your personal life and relationships to the next level. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Simona, certified life coach and author of the book 111 Ways to Simplify Your Life. I make weekly podcast episodes on personal development, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. Now, before I share the 10 ways to become emotionally mature starting today, let's take a few moments and talk about emotional immaturity first. What does emotional immaturity look like? It could range from not knowing how to express or face your emotions, to emotional outbursts, defensiveness, commitment issues, etc. When you're emotionally immature, you try to escape taking responsibility for your emotions, actions, and life choices. You play the blame game, try to escape your problems by indulging in various coping mechanisms, and you don't want to face your feelings. Now that we've briefly discussed what emotional immaturity is, let's focus on the 10 ways to become emotionally mature. My first tip is to know your core values. Your core values are a set of principles that guide you in life. They help you make better decisions and can lead to more joy, excitement, and fulfillment in life. So how do you find your core values, and what are some examples of them? I'm going to share with you the easiest personal core values exercise I know. You just need to think of the 3 most important things for you. For example, my top 3 core values are freedom, love, and health. If you're not sure what your core values are and you want some inspiration, make sure to download your free core values cheat sheet by clicking the link in the description box below or visiting bit.ly/98values. My second tip is to accept your emotions. Unfortunately, there is no going around this one. If you want to become emotionally mature, you need to get comfortable with your emotions. Your emotions are your inner compass. They're showing you what you need to work on. They're the indication that you've not been good to yourself. And they're telling you that you've abandoned your truth and now it's time to take your power back. Now, there are many ways to face your emotions. You can sit alone in a room for 10 to 15 minutes, and when you feel that inner resistance coming up, you can simply say to yourself, "It's okay, let it all out," and trust yourself to be vulnerable. Make sure to breathe deeply and take a moment to respect the pain that you've accumulated inside. Another great way to accept your emotions is to try meditation. It is a great way of calming down, observing your thoughts and feelings, and peeling down the layers of resistance. Listening to music also works, and it will help you tap into your feelings and tune into your body. The important thing is to realize that your emotions aren't good or bad. They simply are sensations going through your body. And there is nothing wrong or shameful about feeling sad, angry, or frustrated. Your emotions are valid, and it is okay to cry, no matter what you've been told in the past. Rewrite this story by questioning all the negative thoughts you have around expressing your emotions freely. And if you need more help with that, I recommend watching my video on how to deal with anxious thoughts after this one. You can find it at youtube.com/CoachSimona. Tip number 3 is to face reality no matter how hard it is. If you want to become emotionally mature, you need to stop trying to run away from your problems. The more you try to escape reality, the harder it will be to face it later on. So why not spare your future self the pain and take the bandage off? A great sign of emotional maturity is facing reality no matter how hard it is. Show yourself that you're stronger than you think. Even if the pain you feel right now is excruciating, at least you will move on from it quicker. Your future self will thank you for it. My next tip is to stop seeking attention. One of the signs you may be struggling with emotional immaturity is that you seek attention, external validation, or you want to be acknowledged, recognized, and praised for your achievements. If you want to become emotionally mature, you need to get into the habit of meeting your own emotional needs, without relying on external validation or seeking attention to feel like you matter. You matter, always, by default. You don't need to prove your worth to others. You're already enough, and your worth is inherent. Remember that next time you start gossiping, or you feel like making a dramatic entrance. It is simply not worth it. Let go of that impulse and move on. And if you want to learn more in-depth tips on how to stop seeking attention, make sure to listen to episode 144 next. I will leave a link below. Tip number 5 is to keep the commitments you make to yourself and others. Keeping your word, being responsible, and showing up for yourself and others. All of these things show your character and demonstrate emotional maturity. When you make a commitment to someone else, do your best to keep it. Don't be flaky. Try to be honest upfront and keep your word. And when it comes to keeping the commitments you make to yourself, my quick tip is to do what you say you'll do. For example, if you say to yourself that you're going to exercise this week, do it. No matter how much you don't want to, keep the commitments you make to yourself and others. This will help you build character and you will become more emotionally mature. My next tip is to control your impulses. Controlling your impulses sounds harder than it actually is. All you need to do is slow down when you're about to do something you might regret later. To change your behavior, you need to come up with a solid reason for why your current behavior is no longer serving you. Otherwise, history is just going to repeat itself. Here are some journaling questions that will help you reflect on that. 1. What does acting impulsively give me? 2. What does it take away from me? 3. Have I said or done things that I regretted later? 4. How will not being reactive help me better my relationships, career, and overall life experiences? 5. Do I pride myself on being impulsive, or is that something that I'm not proud of? Pay attention to the last question. When we pride ourselves on being XYZ, that gives us a sense of identity. The same goes for when we're ashamed of something. Think of it this way. Anytime you associate yourself with something, and you say to others, I'm impulsive, or I'm a hothead, you're confirming your identity and making this belief even stronger. Now, I don't want you to start denying it, because that will only make it stronger since you will be repressing the truth and perpetuating the cycle. What I want you to do instead is stop basing your identity on this particular trait and detach yourself from it. For example, the next time you react impulsively, instead of saying, I'm an impulsive person, say to yourself something like, my reaction was impulsive, but I can choose to change and react better in the future. Tip number 7 is to stop playing the victim. One of the most effective ways to become emotionally mature is to stop playing the victim. The easiest way to do that is to ask yourself one simple question. What do I gain by playing the victim? Journaling on this question could be really helpful to get to the bottom of it. Here are some suggestions to get you started. You may be playing the victim because you're afraid that if you take responsibility for your emotions, you will have to admit that you're the one that's actually responsible for your negative thoughts and feelings. Or you may like the attention or the sympathy that you get from the other person. By complaining how you feel and playing the victim card, you may be trying to gain attention or some form of affection. Take some time to reflect on this question and come back when you're ready. Tip number 8 on how to become emotionally mature is to take radical responsibility. What does this mean? Taking radical responsibility is about owning your choices, behaviors, and feelings. No one else is responsible for the way you react. You can choose to change your attitude right now. Here's a simple technique you can use to start taking radical responsibility. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask yourself, what can I do to make the situation better? You always have a choice. Always. You can change the situation you're in, or you can accept it and let go of your resistance. By taking radical responsibility for everything in your life, you will be able to make better decisions, feel more empowered, and become more emotionally mature. My next tip is to make bold, brave decisions despite your fear. We're all afraid of different things, and we all try to avoid feeling uncomfortable, awkward, or spare ourselves the potential embarrassment. But the truth is that the only way to become emotionally mature is to start making bold, brave decisions that get you further in life. If you stay in your comfort zone, you won't be able to grow, and there is no way to live your life. You can do so much better if you just embrace the initial discomfort. Let go of your resistance. The thing is, once you start exposing yourself step by step to the things that you're afraid of, you will become more confident. You will start trusting yourself more, and as a result, you will become more emotionally mature. My next tip is to think about the long-term consequences of your actions. Sometimes we make decisions that feel good initially without thinking about the long-term consequences. That is a sign of emotional immaturity. When we only do things that feel good at the moment and don't care about the way they're going to impact us or other important people in our lives, we're not living up to our potential. Emotional maturity is owning up for your mistakes, but also trying your best to avoid repeating them. And a great way to do that is to think about the long-term consequences of your actions. An easy way to do that is to ask yourself next time you're faced with a big decision the following 3 questions. 1. Will I regret this later? 2. Will this matter 5 years from now? And 3. Is there a better way to handle the situation? This will help you get a reality check and choose the best possible outcome. And if you want to learn how to self-reflect, become a more emotionally mature, self-sufficient, and happy individual, check out the Self-Love Toolkit. It is my proven step-by-step framework that will help you transform the relationship you have with yourself in just 15 minutes per day. If you want to learn more, head over to www.theselflovetoolkit.com or click the first link in the description box below. Thank you so much for listening. If you found this episode helpful, please like it. And subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss out on my weekly podcast episodes. I'm sending you all my love, and I'll talk to you in the next one.